Y'all, we are doing this long overdue Butterfinger Pound Cake. I have had this cake on my list of cakes to do for quite some time, and I'm just getting around to doing it. So, I was just crushing some of the Butterfinger candy. Now, I use this entire 8-ounce bag of the Butterfinger unwrapped minis. They are crispy, crunchy, peanut buttery. And you can see this is the actual size of them right here, okay? So far I've used this whole bag, and that's what you just saw me crushing up. Now, I have some extra here just in case I need it. Don't think that I will. I want to have some of the Butterfinger inside the cake. So right now I have a cup. I'll probably put a little bit more. May add a little bit more in there. Once I get to folding it in, then I'll decide if I want to do more than a cup. But this is a very generous 1 cup of the Butterfinger candy. And then I have 3 cups of Swan's Down cake flour. To the cake flour, I've added 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon, I'll say a generous 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I kind of wanted to try a little bit more baking powder, so I didn't. You know how you measure it and you kind of slide it off to make the top of it smooth and flat? I didn't do that, so I'd say a generous 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, we have 3 cups of sugar. Oh, wait a minute, back to the baking powder. To the flour, I added, did I say that? 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Once I added it, I sifted 2 times. I was just in the mood to sift. You all know Swan's Down comes pre-sifted for you in the box, and just depending on how I feel when I get in this kitchen will determine whether or not I sift or not. So this time I sifted twice. All right, I have 6 large eggs here that are room temperature. I've already cracked them. I have 3 sticks of unsalted butter. That's also room temperature. Did I say the 3 cups of sugar? Y'all, I don't remember. If I didn't, if I did, 3 cups of sugar. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to use cream cheese. We're using 8 ounces of cream cheese. And I always like to go on and put my cream cheese in my mixer back there, because if I don't do it like before I start mixing, oftentimes, honey, I forget. Alright, with my extracts, I'm going to use a good generous tablespoon or more of the vanilla. And then I want a little bit of my caramel flavor. I want just a little bit. I think I'm probably going to use half this bottle. This is a LorAnn bottle, just because I want that in there. This is totally not necessary. So if you don't have caramel, don't worry about it. Just use your vanilla. And because I want to darken up, I want to, y'all see how, you see the color, the inside of the Butterfinger, it's kind of that orangish, rusty color. I don't know that I can make it that color. Let me see. Oh, this is what I'm going to do, y'all. Because I want to. I'm going to add maybe about a tablespoon or 2 of chocolate, okay, to the batter. Some cocoa powder. About a tablespoon or 2 of cocoa powder to, just because I want to darken up that, I want to color that batter just a little bit. Now, I do have a little bit of orange. I probably better leave well enough alone before I do the most, and that batter color just be all off. I am going to add a little bit of chocolate so it won't be so bright, okay? You don't have to do that either. I just want to do the most, as usual. So, you don't have to do that, honey. Don't worry about it. Okay. Then, y'all see all this chocolate on the outside of the Butterfinger. So, I'm going to do a chocolate ganache. I have my chocolate wafers here. I get my chocolate wafers and my LorAnn oils locally from our wonderful Kitchen Cake Magic. So it's a local cake supplier. This is where I get my chocolate from. I might use all of this, I might not. But if I do, I don't necessarily want the cake to be entirely covered with. So as it drizzles down, because y'all know I'm getting ready to do this kind of like a glaze ganache. I'm not getting ready to ice no cake. Excuse me, that is not my portion. So we're going to do a glaze. So I don't mind if, as it drizzles down, if all of the cake isn't covered, okay? I'm not trying to cover the cake. But if I have enough to cover it, that's fine too, but listen. Okay, and to that, I'm going to add a little bit, about a tablespoon of my Karo Syrup, because that kind of makes the ganache look a little glossy. And then I will add to that a little bit of French vanilla creamer. I don't have any heavy whipping cream, so I'm just going to use my French vanilla creamer when I make my ganache. And then we're just going to take some of them cookies, not cookies, the rest of the candy, and kind of sprinkle it on the top. Y'all, keep it real simple. Now for all of you fancy cake decorators, y'all can make it look real pretty. Miss Donna gonna keep it simple, because I don't have the time nor patience to be, you know, all that decorating. So, but I'm excited to taste this cake. And you guys, very seldom do I tell my dude number one, aka my husband. Very seldom do I tell him what kind of cake I'm baking, because I like for him to be able to taste it and, you know, okay, well, he tastes lemon, or he tastes chocolate, or whatever it is he's tasting. Y'all see I'm adding my 3 sticks of butter to my mixing bowl. So like I was saying, I like for him to, you know, taste the cake and let me know whether or not he can taste the flavors. I don't like a hint of flavor. If I'm eating a lemon cake or chocolate, you know, I want to know that it's lemon. I don't like folk to have to think too hard to figure out what flavor it is. Now, if it's something new, it can be a little challenging. And you're trying to figure out, okay, I know this tastes like something, but I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, so I said all that to say, while I'm thinking about it, honey, let me stick these in the drawer, because if he comes in and sees the wrappers, then he's going to know it's a Butterfinger cake. So I put that away while I was thinking about it. Now I'm adding a generous tablespoon of my vanilla or more, my caramel that I should have had already open. We're going to add just a little bit, probably about half of this bottle. I just want to, y'all. You don't have to do this, okay? Y'all know I tell you, whatever you like, whatever you like. Okay. So, like I say, about half of this bottle. Okay. Mission accomplished. Now, I'm going to start by mixing just the butter, the cream cheese by itself. I am using my whisk attachment today. Excuse me, you guys. I'm using my whisk attachment today just because I want to. Not necessary. A lot of times I use my flat beater. Y'all, it just depends. When I get in the kitchen and start cooking or baking, it just depends on what I feel like grabbing most times. And for whatever reason, I'm going to use the whisk attachment today. I know a lot of people like to use this, but they don't use it when they mix up cakes. They like to use it when they're trying to whip up a meringue or something like that. But I'm going to use it today just because. Alright? So we're going to cream this once we mix for a few seconds, the butter and the cream cheese. Then I'm going to slowly add my sugar. We're going to cream this butter, sugar, and cream cheese for 10 minutes. I cream on a medium high, so this mixture will be set on about 8.5. You want to cream until it's light and fluffy. Alright, don't skimp this part, because what can happen is if you don't properly cream, have you ever seen cakes and they look gummy and gooey on the inside? Oftentimes it's because they were not properly creamed. I set me a timer. I'm looking at my microwave for 10 minutes, and then I walk away and do something else. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to grease my my cake pan while I'm creaming. Okay, so do something else. I will have to stop a couple of times and scrape down the sides of my bowl, because what you'll notice is the cream cheese, butter, sugar is going to start collecting on the sides of my bowl, which means if it's up here, not down in the bowl, honey, it's not getting properly creamed. All right? Okay. I'm going to stop once we are done creaming and come back and show you exactly what I mean, so you can see what it looks like when I say it should be light and fluffy. All right? All right. Minutes later, we are light and fluffy. So that's exactly what you want to be looking like, okay? Like I say, don't rush this process. Just take your time so you can properly cream. Now I'll start adding my eggs one at a time. And when I add the eggs, I add them and then I'll see that yolk break up. And then I just mix for a couple of seconds. And then add the next egg. So I don't wait for the yolk to totally disappear and mix in before adding the next egg, okay? I'll mix in the eggs on that same temperature, and then it's not temperature, on that same speed. And then what you'll see me do is I'll turn down the mixer on low. This mixer is usually set on 2, and I'll slowly add in the dry ingredients, okay? When I start adding the dry ingredients, that doesn't take nearly as long as the creaming of the butter and sugar. And that's where a lot of people mess up, because they're trying to mix and get the batter silky smooth. That's not what we're trying to accomplish, okay? When I start adding the flour, it's going to take less than 2 minutes to get that added in. And also, I'm going to stop the mixer because I want to add the Butterfinger candy. I'm going to mix more by hand, so I'll be folding that in, okay? So it may take me about a minute or so to get that flour in there, and then we're going to fold in that candy. Now what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to, because I don't want to add too much, we're going to take it a little bit at a time. I have a tablespoon of this cocoa powder, and we're going to add that, okay? Go on and add that. If by chance I feel like I need to add some more, then I can. I'll just add a little bit more. But the only reason I'm adding that is to slightly change the color of the batter. So y'all don't feel like you have to do that. You know, if you don't have chocolate, you can't do this. Don't. It's not that serious, okay? Again, I'm just being extra. While I was creaming, I greased my pan. Use some Crisco. I use my hands. That's why you have to make sure your hands clean, y'all. Don't be in the kitchen with nasty hands, because that's just nasty, all right? So wash your hands thoroughly. I greased it with Crisco, and then I floured it, dusted it with flour. I just used some all-purpose flour. Sometimes I use cake flour, but I use the all-purpose to do that, okay, today. All right, so we're going to start adding these eggs. Once these eggs get mixed in, you're gonna see me turn this mixer down, and then we're gonna add our dry ingredients, mix for just a minute or so, and then we're gonna fold in our candy bar and be ready to get this cake in the oven and baked. That 1 tablespoon of cocoa was just enough to color my batter, so didn't add any more or anything else. Alright, so we have this 1 cup of, generous cup of Butterfinger candy. I was trying to think whether or not I wanted to toss them in flour. Some of the pieces are fine. They're really, really teeny. And I think it's going to be kind of hard to separate the flour. So we're not going to do that. Sometimes even when I coat stuff in flour, it seems like they still sink to the bottom. Does that happen to you guys? So listen, we will see. I'm going under the bottom to make sure everything is mixed in, and yes, I remembered to do it today. Oftentimes I'd be trying to remember to put a little bit of batter in the cake pan before I start mixing in whatever I'm mixing in, and I usually forget. I'm so glad. Thank you, Lord. And I remembered to do that today. And I'm just trying to prevent the candy from coming in contact directly with the pan. You know what I mean? This may or may not make a difference, y'all, but I'm glad I remembered to do it today. Because, honey, I'd be forgetting. Okay. And I'm hoping that, like, if they don't, without me doing this, a lot of times I think when the candy or whatever comes in contact with the top of the pan or the bottom of the pan, it causes it to stick. So that's all I added, just a little layer at the bottom. Let's see if that makes a difference. Okay, so we have this to kind of sprinkle on the top. Like I say, this is a generous cup of Butterfinger candy, okay? And we're going to pour that in. Just kind of fold it in, and you still want to be careful not to over mix even doing this part. And into the batter, into the cake pan we go. It smells good. Oh, that smells so good. So now I'm just trying to get the batter level so my cake won't be lopsided. Our oven is ready. Again, we're preheated to 325 degrees. Butterfinger Pound Cake with cream cheese. That's enough. Okay, we're heating it under the bottom to release air bubbles. And now we're going in the oven. I bake my cakes in the middle of my oven. So what I do is I adjust one of my racks to where it's in the middle of the oven. And that's where I bake. We're going to set our timer for 1 hour and 15 minutes. I will be sure to let you know exactly how long it baked once I take it out. Okay, this one baked today for about 1 hour and 35 minutes. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if it's because of the candy or what. But in any event, we're going to let it sit here and cool. And then it's got to cool for at least 10 minutes or so before we flip. And then even after we flip it, it has to cool even longer before I add the ganache, because it will simply run off. You all, I just put the cake back in the oven. When I took it out, I tested another part of the cake and it seemed to be just a little wet. So I'm putting it back in for a few minutes to see if that is going to make a difference. Okay? So we will see. I think I'm going to put it back in for maybe about another 10 minutes and then see what that does. Okay, we're taking it out again. And we're just going to kind of see what it does. See if that made a difference. So we're going to let it sit here and cool. And then we'll flip it in about 10 minutes. I may let it sit longer than about 10 minutes, maybe about 15 minutes before I flip, okay? All right, let's get it flipped. Ooh. Well, it looks pretty, although it had to cook a little extra. Bake a little extra, so we're going to sit here and let it cool. This is what my pan looks like. Alright, so it has to cool for a while, but I'll do the ganache in a little bit because again, if I do the ganache and put it on right now while it's so hot, it's going to melt right off, okay? Okay, I will be using a little bit of my French vanilla creamer. I don't have any heavy whipping cream, and oftentimes I like to use creamer, okay? And what we're gonna do is, I'm just heating this up. We do not want it to boil, okay? I want it to get to the point where I can just kind of start seeing it kind of simmer a little bit where it's getting ready to start boiling, but we do not want it to boil, okay? Here are my chocolate wafers. We're just going to pour them in here. You know what? That little bit left, I might as well pour them all. And what we'll do when that gets hot, we're just going to pour it over the wafers. And then we will stir it until it gets smooth. And then we'll be ready to put it on the cake. Okay, you see how it's just now starting to kind of form some bubbles? Can you see that? Like it just wants to start boiling. That's when I take it off of the heat, because again, you do not want it to boil. So we're going to pour it over the chocolate. And then we're just going to stir, get it all mixed up. Get it smooth. Now I'll probably need a little bit more. It's just a little drop left in here, so let me go on and start getting that warm. I think I'm going to need just a little bit more to make sure it's pourable. Did you see that? Stir it and get it smooth. We're going to add about a tablespoon of the, what's this stuff called? Karo corn syrup. Okay. So once I get it to the consistency I want it, then I'll be ready to pour it on the cake. All right, y'all. Let's see what we're doing.
just said, hey, everybody. I said, hey, everybody.
You doing something.
Did I do anything behind her back? Did I do anything? What the heck, look at it, Miss Donna? Okay. God, you're so mean. You're like an alligator.
Stop saying God.
Gosh, like an alligator. You just bite me.
Because you always doing something crazy behind my back. And then you think I'm not.
I was just saying to the people, hey,
I
everybody.
was saying when you
watching. Did I do anything different? You see what I'm saying?
If you did, you know they're going to tell me.
They tell everything. For the one, since you're going to tell everything, ask her this. Did I do anything wrong this time? Tell her that. Why don't you put in your comment and tell her that then? You'll tell everything else? I'm just, ooh. Wow.
I believe this cake
What does this look like?
Is really moist.
This look like a Nutty Buddy.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry, I broke it.
You broke what?
I broke your cake.
It look like a Nutty Buddy.
It's really like a Nutty Buddy.
You know how Nutty Buddies look on the top? They have chocolate and all of the peanuts in it. Is that peanuts?
You have to taste it and see. I messed up your slice though.
I don't.
I messed up your slice. But look on the inside of it. I'm trying to wait. Let me hold this. Y'all, can you see it?
I'm trying to get it. Where's my fork? I'm trying to get my fork.
Where is your fork?
Yeah, fork. That's what I'm gonna get. Fork. Let me taste. I made Nutty Buddy cake.
Yeah, you're nutty. I'm trying this. Chocolate is running. What you mean a Nutty Buddy cake?
Just a Nutty Buddy.
Oh, you got your fork.
I don't need no fancy fork.
You're gonna tell me what it tastes like.
It looks like a Nutty Buddy.
Look, y'all.
It smells.
It look like a Nutty Buddy.
Don't look like a Nutty Buddy.
He trying to figure out what it is, y'all. Look at that. Life is like a box of chocolates.
It's got a taste that I'm familiar with, but I do not know what it is.
Let me taste it.
What is that?
I want this corner right here.
What is that?
Ding, 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 ding,
There's
ding.
a familiar taste. It's not a Nutty Buddy.
It seems like it needs some ice cream with it because it's still a little warm. And for whatever reason, it took like maybe about an hour and 45 minutes to bake, maybe. I can't say that because he.
Don't tell me. I can't taste when you're talking.
Ooh, I want some more, but I'm not gonna do it.
What is that taste?
Ooh, I want some more.
What is that taste? My goodness.
Now that is so good. And it doesn't help that it's still a little warm.
It tastes like...
It's still a little warm. Oh my goodness.
I can taste some peanut butter.
Okay, yeah.
So it has peanut butter?
I mean, in something that's in it, there's peanut butter.
There's some peanut butter and it's a chewy to it. A chewy. Like a...
Okay, you got about 10 more seconds to try to figure it out.
Okay, hold on, babe. Don't press it.
Taste around the top of it. Let me see. Is this? Oh, that's the side. Okay, yeah. Taste that top part. Are you? Did you say you crunching something?
Yeah, I'm crunching. I'm like.
Does it remind you of something you've eaten before?
Yeah. A Chic-O-Stick.
Oh, you right there, y'all. He is right there. You right there on it.
Wait a minute.
That's what the chewiness is.
Yeah. It's a peanut butter. It's some peanut butter with a...
Should I open the drawer, y'all? He says like a Chic-O-Stick.
It's a Chic-O-Stick. I think it's a Chic-O-Stick. Butterfinger. Well, that's a Chic-O-Stick, that's what Butterfinger is with the chocolate over it.
Okay. Oh, just without the chocolate.
Yeah, a Chic-O-Stick is just,
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about.
See there? Okay.
A Chic-O-Stick is a Butterfinger without the chocolate.
This has been on my list to do forever.
God, this is good.
And let me show you, now that he's eating, let me see. It's a very moist cake. And I'm curious as to, because we love cakes with cream cheese. So I made it with cream cheese.
You made it
I
good?
think it would have baked differently had I used some milk or some creamer, but I didn't want to do that. So if y'all tried maybe with some creamer, with some milk, it'll probably
But that's what's on top.
Yeah, Butterfinger. Well, it's Butterfinger in it too.
Yeah, but I'm saying
There's a very generous cup of crushed up Butterfinger. I use that whole bag. There's a very generous cup of crushed up Butterfinger inside, and I really think that affected the way it baked because it took about an hour and 45 minutes. Because I set it for 1:15, an hour and 15 minutes, and then I think I did another 20 minutes.
that's what makes it look like a what's the? I was just saying the candy bar.
And I added some chocolate to it because
What's
I wanted to
what's the
change
candy
the
bar
color.
was telling you? It looked like a
Chic-O-Stick?
No, the candy. I'm gonna say
What?
ice cream. Ice cream. I told you it looked like some ice cream, like a
When did you say something about some ice cream?
I told you. I said it looked like
I said it's
a Nutty Buddy.
Oh, okay.
That's a Nutty Buddy.
Okay. Well, but see, that's not nuts. You just.
I know what I'm saying. It looks like a Nutty
That's
Buddy.
what it reminded you.
Yeah, it reminded me of a Nutty
And I
Buddy.
put a little chocolate in the batter because I wanted to change the color of it. So I just put a tablespoon of chocolate
And I put a little,
cocoa in the batter.
I put a little cheap in this, and it's gone.
Y'all, that's good. But I'm gonna tell you, she gave me a run for my money today because I'm like, is it gonna ever get done? But anywho, like I said, that's been on my list to do for quite some time. We need to get a thumbnail, baby. For a minute, y'all. And I'm like, let me do this cake. Okay. He's not looking up. Okay, that'll do it. That'll do it. And it's still warm because his plate is warm. But y'all, that is so good. And I really want some more, but I stopped at that one. Like, okay. All right. Well, you guys, if you enjoyed the video, it's chewy. Have you been able to tell that there are any pieces on the inside? Because I think it was, you can.
Yep.
Because I'm saying it was some big humps on the inside too. Y'all, that is delicious.
I see one right there.
That's delicious.
See? It's good. See? It's good.
It's delicious. So, anywho, so just remember that when you're baking it, and baking time is going to depend, it's going to vary depending on your oven as always. But listen, that's a good one. That makes me want to try some other cakes with some candy.
That was good. That's really good.
Okay. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, please consider doing so.
By hitting the nosy.
And that's turning on that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever we're doing whatever it is
good.
we're doing. It is good. And I can't have any
It looks
more.
good too. Looks
I
good.
wanted, yeah, y'all, listen. Bless the Lord on my soul. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. We already look forward to you joining us again next time. Bye.
I haven't even done my teeth.
Do you have any in your teeth?
I haven't done my teeth. Get it out.
Your teeth brown.
What you talking about my teeth, Donna? Let me see your teeth.
I only had a little bit. My teeth are brown.
I told you like an alligator. You just bite me.